Superman and Lois, a series well worth your time. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Scott here from Ken Geek Games and Collectibles. Welcome as always to the Ken Geek YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about Superman and Lois Season 1, Episode 1, a 90-minute series premiere that just concluded on the CW. Now, before we begin, be forewarned, there are a lot of spoilers coming in this video. So, if you're still here, you're good with spoilers, and that's great because I really want to talk about this series. I even dressed for the occasion. So, Superman and Lois begins with about a 4.5 minute or a 5-minute montage of Clark Kent talking about the most memorable moments in his life. His arrival on Earth, his initial meeting with Jonathan and Martha Kent, growing up as a child in Smallville, the untimely death of Jonathan Kent, Clark's decision to move to Metropolis, where he ultimately meets and falls in love with Lois Lane, their subsequent romance, and then the birth of their two children, Jonathan and Jordan Kent. This is extremely important in my opinion to this series because at its core, behind the superhero facade, I legitimately believe that Superman and Lois is setting itself up to be a heroic family drama. And let's talk about why. So, when this series really kicks off, Clark has just lost his job at the Daily Planet, a victim of downsizing. Clark acknowledges that there's a strained relationship between him and his two children, Jonathan and Jordan, because he's always away saving someone and his kids have no clue who he really is. Now, they introduce these two kids as being polar opposites of each other. Jonathan is the ideal child, very well-rounded, very athletic, good at pretty much everything. Jordan, on the other hand, grew up having night terrors and anger management issues and has recently been diagnosed with a social anxiety disorder. And as much as Clark feels his relationships with these two kids are strained, his relationship with Jordan is really strained. Now, Clark has lost his job at the Daily Planet. He's been trying to deal with what appears to be a rogue Kryptonian running around the Earth, trying to start nuclear disasters as a means of getting his attention when he is notified via a phone call that his mother Martha has passed away as a result of a stroke. The family returns to the Kent farm in Smallville to bury Martha, where Clark learns that Martha has taken a reverse mortgage on the farm as a means of helping to financially support her neighbors who have all fallen on hard times. Clark is presented with the opportunity to either pay back the reverse mortgage or cash out the remaining value of the farm and go on his way. It is during their stay at the family farm that something happens. The assumption was always that if one of their two kids was going to develop abilities similar to Clark's, that it was going to be Jonathan, the very athletic, well-rounded child. However, an accident takes place in the barn, a place that the kids have been told multiple times to stay out of by Clark. And both Jonathan and Jordan should be gravely injured. However, they get up and they walk away from this accident with barely a scratch on them, leaving Lois and Clark to think that Jonathan is beginning to manifest superhuman abilities. However, in a very nice touch, it is actually revealed later in the episode that it is Jordan that is developing these abilities. And this will become something that Clark and Jordan are able to bond over as this series continues, at least in my opinion. Now, again, looping back to this rogue Kryptonian that is running rampant on the Earth, it will later be revealed that this is in fact Lex Luthor, a Lex Luthor from an alternate reality. Because bear in mind, the last time we saw these characters was at the conclusion of Crisis on Infinite Earths. And Superman and Lois takes a giant leap forward in time, like 14 or 15 years later. Again, they have 2 teenage kids. This reveal of an alternate Lex Luthor is a loop back to Crisis on Infinite Earths. And it's opening a lot of doors for conflicts that will come up as this series continues. Now, there is one issue that I have with this series so far, and this is legitimately the only issue I walked away from episode 1 with. There is a scene in this episode where Clark engages with this being that at this point he doesn't know is Lex in a battle in Earth's upper atmosphere, and Lex is holding his own, and Lex pulls out this shard of kryptonite and he stabs Clark directly in the chest with it and snaps it off inside him, leaving Clark to plummet to his death back into Earth's atmosphere. Now, at the very last minute, Clark manages to reach in and kind of pull this shard out of him and just kind of discard it. And, you know, the last second as he's about to hit the ground at a very high velocity, he regains his composure and he regains his abilities and stops himself at the very last minute from making a direct impact with the Earth's surface. My only issue with this one scene is we've always been led to believe that when exposed to kryptonite, Clark basically becomes unable to do anything. Like it is literally his Achilles heel. But in this series, he manages to reach in and toss the thing away. That is my only issue so far with this. And it's a minor thing because I'm sure, you know, it's not a big deal. But again, at its core, behind its superhero facade, I legitimately believe that Superman and Lois is going to be a family drama. The series moves at a much slower pace than any other CW series thus far. And I legitimately believe this is going to be worth watching. So if you haven't given it a chance yet, do it. And if you have given it a chance and you've enjoyed it, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think. And if you haven't enjoyed it, leave me a comment down below and let me know why. You know, let's talk about Superman and Lois. So as always, thanks very much for watching this video and supporting us here at King Geek Games and Collectibles. Wherever you're watching this from, stay safe, we'll talk again soon, and ciao for now.